and everyone's desperately trying to find out who's to blame for this split.
Yeah, we've lost some time.
Hi and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Ashley Flaw, journalist, Hollywood truth teller, and your voice of reason in a town built on delusion. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who watched my conversation with the amazing Nelson Aspen yesterday. We talked about this tragic news split between Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. And while we were having that conversation, Nicole Kidman filed for divorce. Yesterday, people were quite shocked about this news, and some people said that this came out of nowhere. Some other people have now come forward and said this was a long time coming. And the headlines in the media are all over the place. And you know how it is in these celebrity feuds, especially when it comes to divorce. We always have to find the bad guy. And everyone's desperately trying to find out who's to blame for this split. Right now, a lot of people are leaning towards Keith Urban. Some details have come out since yesterday. It looks like this split is going to be a bit nasty. Yesterday, we were under the impression that Keith was the one that wanted to leave this marriage. According to sources, he had complained about lack of intimacy with his wife and that they had been drifting apart for a while. Now things seem to have changed a little bit. I just went into Nicole and Keith's Instagram to see what the comments were like there. I feel like you get some kind of feeling of where people stand. And right now it looks like Keith is going to be the bad guy here. And that's also because of something that came out yesterday. Nicole is getting a lot of support and her PR team is out there controlling the situation. I don't know where the truth lies yet, and I think we have to be careful with that. In these situations, it's so easy to just jump on a conclusion and say, he's the bad guy here, she's the good one. But I think if you've been together for 19 years, it's a bit more complicated than that. Just that being said, I do think there was a power imbalance here. There was an article in Daily Mail where Keith said that Nicole was more like a mother to him, which is never really a good sign in a relationship if you feel like someone's mothering you. Anyways, there's been a few interviews lately with Keith that I think just reveals a lot of what's been going on behind the scenes. So just 2 months ago, he was interviewed on an Australian radio show. It's called Haley and Max in the Morning. And they asked about those intimate scenes between Nicole and Zac Efron. And this happened.
I watched a movie with her and Zac Efron recently, Family Affair, and I thought,
that's a good one.
What does Keith Urban think when he sees his beautiful wife with beautiful younger men like Zac Efron having these beautiful love scenes on TV and radio? Oh, why has that happened? What's just happened here?
He's disconnected from Zoom.
Did he just hang up on us?
I think his team hung up on us because they didn't want us to ask that question.
Really?
Yes, he hung up on them. I feel like that question, it's something that I've been thinking about myself because I feel like the last few years we've seen Nicole Kidman in so many of these kind of films and these kind of TV shows where she has these kind of scenes with a lot of younger actors. And I was always thinking, like, what is it like for the partner to watch your partner on screen doing stuff like that with someone else? I could never handle that, but I guess that's a part of being an actor. But then again, Keith is not an actor. So for him, he doesn't understand that process probably. But considering how he reacted to this question, I think they hit a really weak spot. And this is something that's really been bothering him. Remember that movie from last year, Baby Girl? Some of those scenes there, that could not have been easy for Keith to watch. And then there's this other interview here where Ryan Seacrest was asking Keith about his wife, and you could see this extremely awkward exchange. Ryan picked up on it quickly and just turned the conversation into something else. But like when you watch this, you're like, okay, something is really off in their marriage with the way Keith is reacting to this question.
Is that something with your life, her life, and mapping it all out with production and touring? That's a job, isn't it?
It's a job. Yeah.
And teenagers at that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, life is in session.
I think that people know that you do take great pride in, even though you're busy, making time to have time with each other, which is why you've been, together 19, 20 years, maybe more?
Yeah.
And they're both very nice people. Very nice people.
Yeah.
Super, super nice. Keith
Thank
Urban
you,
with us.
Ron.
I miss you.
Yeah, so I think at the point where this interview was happening, they were already living separate lives. And maybe that's why he was reacting like that, thinking like, okay, maybe it will become public soon that we are not like supporting husband and wife anymore. I don't know. Another video that popped up in my feed on Instagram yesterday is this reporter from The Times who explained his conversation with Keith Urban. I don't know how recent this was, but I think it says a lot about how he felt in the relationship with Nicole. He's pointing out, how he was always in the shadow of his wife. His wife was the big movie star. And I think in the rest of the world, people didn't really know who Keith Urban was. And then he just became Nicole Kidman's husband. And I think if you're a couple where one person is really famous and the other person is also in the entertainment industry and wants to get that attention, that's where that imbalance can get really unhealthy. And that's exactly what this reporter from The Times was pointing at.
And when we spoke, it was very clear that the poor guy was totally sick of being asked about his much more famous wife. He never lost his cool, but there was a deep sensitivity underneath that brush off. He knew the drill. He talks about his career, I talk about his global star wife. The reason we were interviewing him was because he was married to her. The last straw came at the very end of our interview. I asked if he was proud of her. One last attempt, and he said very, and then shut it down with a level of frustration that I won't forget. We've had the best conversation, he said, and at the very end, you're going to give one more swing to see if I'll talk about my wife.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Keith did not want to speak about his wife in interviews. And as this reporter said, he knew that I was there because he's married to Nicole and not because of his music. And that must be really hurtful for him. So I completely understand where he's coming from. But I think that's also something that you probably have to think about when you marry someone. But we have to remember that because he was married to Nicole Kidman, that also gave him a big push and that made him more famous than he was before. So she has helped his career a lot. And as we know, she also helped him a lot staying sober. I think he was in rehab twice during their marriage. And he has expressed how grateful he is to Nicole for helping him with that. So she helped him with that and she helped him with his career. But to me here, it just seems like there's a lot of bitterness. And of course, now adding to that, the fact that there is some evidence now that he might have moved on with someone a lot younger already, just add fuels to the fire. But before we get into that, I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Hexclad. So when you have a couple of pans in the kitchen that you don't want anyone else to touch? For me, that's my Hexclad pots and pans. These are like, no joke, the Rolls Royce of cookware. I've never owned anything this amazing before. They're sleek, they're sexy, and they actually make me feel like I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. And it feels like every meal that you cook in these pans or in these pots are just gonna turn out amazing. It's fall and you're gonna spend more time cooking in the kitchen for your family or for your friends. That means Sunday roast, cozy soups, and big holiday spreads. Hexclad's hybrid design gives you stainless steel durability and a non-stick surface, which is really important because I usually burn things and they get stuck and I can't get it out. But that never happens with Hexclad. And the best thing is they're so easy to clean. Magnus usually does the dishes here and he was yelling from the kitchen. No joke. He was like, oh my God, this comes off so easily. So yeah, if you're the person who has to do the dishes, this is also a gift for you. Yeah, so for me, Hexclad really checks every single box when it comes to cookware. They're metal utensil safe and they're dishwasher safe. They're toxin free and they're safe to put in the oven up to 500 degrees. They're induction ready and even have a stay cool handle so you can sort with ease. Whether you grab your 6-piece set for everyday essentials or the 12-piece set for hosting or big batch cooking, every Hexclad piece comes with a lifetime guarantee, so you never have to buy any cookware again for the rest of your life. Yes, so fall is the season for cozy gatherings and home-cooked meals. So why not treat yourself to the best cookware to make all of it just a breeze? For a limited time, you as my listener get 10% off with my exclusive link. You go to hexclad.com/Flo, my last name, FLAA. So support my channel and upgrade your kitchen by going to my link, hexclad.com/Flo, FLAA. Make sure to let them know that I sent you. So cheers to stylish and stress-free fall hosting with Hexclad. Yes, it's all over the place today, you guys. It says here in People that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman's divorce is turning dramatic. It seems he's already moved on. A source have told People they were both on different pages when it came to their split. And she filed for divorce yesterday. And then someone told People their split is turning dramatic. Nicole's hurt and feels betrayed. She wanted to save their marriage and believed that she could, but it seems he's already moved on. Okay, apparently this is also the rumor all over Nashville that he has someone new in his life. Another source said to People recently that the country singer has just been going through some stuff. I don't know what that is. He's been making questionable choices for some time now. I don't know what they mean by questionable choices, but I think definitely it's not choices that benefited their relationship. So in the divorce, Nicole cited irreconcilable, I never can say that word, differences. And they continue to say, and their split was not the case of them just drifting apart. Yeah, I feel after 19 years that you might not just drift apart, that something just happens. It's so much harder to leave each other after that amount of time. And of course, they have teenage girls. It's really hard for someone in their teenage years when their parents split up. And I can't even begin to imagine what it's like when both your parents are famous and your mom is like one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And also now there's more details about the divorce and who's going to get what. I'll get back to that in a second. But first, let's get into this rumor. So Radar Online did this story that Keith Urban had changed some of the lyrics in one of his songs, one of the songs that he wrote for Nicole that they apparently sang together at some occasions. And he was pointing at her when he was singing about baby in this song. And now, a few days ago, he apparently swapped the lyrics and made it about his guitarist in his band. Let me know what you think. Here's the video that she posted on her Instagram about the event. I don't know if Maggie Bo is his new flame. I was looking at some of her Instagram posts and people are already jumping on her. Please don't do that. I think that we need to get to the truth there before anyone jumps to any conclusions. And trolling people online is never a good thing anyways. But the way that she was so excited about him swapping the name, I couldn't really hear what he was singing. But the fact that she put this text on this Instagram reel, to me proves that she thought it was about her and she got so excited about it. So what he was singing to her was, when they're trying to get to you, Maggie, I'll be your guitar player. Her name is Maggie. And the original lyrics for that song says, when they're trying to get to you, baby, I'll be the fighter. I don't know how to read this, you guys. Please let me know what you think in the comment section, that there's something there. She was very excited about this and she said, did he just say that? But maybe she's just really excited about being in his band. I don't know. I'm sure we're going to find out soon. The thing about this, though, is that this song, he's been talking about this song before, and he said in a previous conversation or in an interview, he said, it's all from a conversation my wife and I had early on in our relationship, that when things get tough, I need to hold her tighter and just try to take care of her. Well, I guess he's not doing that anymore. And he continued to say, the song is about wanting to heal somebody, wanting to take care of somebody, wanting to protect somebody. It's really like a vow in so many ways. Ooh, that makes it even worse that he swapped the lyrics for that song. Ugh. And Page 6 is reporting on the same thing here. They're saying that Nicole Kidman and Keith split was inevitable after this major turning point, and multiple sources connected to Nicole have said that all the signs point to the fact Keith is with another woman. Let's just say Nicole doesn't dispute that, but she's still shocked over it. One Nicole source adds, it's all over Nashville. That's where he lives, that's where they've been living together. As you know now, Nicole Kidman has actually applied for citizenship in Portugal. So people had actually been starting to wonder if something was going on there since she did that by herself. And Keith was on tour. He's been touring for a while now, and he said he was too busy touring, so that's why he didn't apply for the citizenship in Portugal. So that added to the fact that people were like, oh, something's off here, obviously. And now, of course, it's all about who gets to spend time with their two daughters. Sunday is 17 and Faith is 14. I think they're at an age now that they can more or less decide for themselves who they want to stay with. But apparently they're already trying to sort this out. It says here that according to court documents that are filed in Tennessee, Kidman will be the primary parents with daughter Sunday and Faith, living with her for 306 days a year. Keith, by contrast, is allocated just 59 parenting days annually. I have to say I'm surprised that they actually agreed on this already, if they have agreed, or if this is just a suggestion from Nicole's divorce papers. I don't know, but it says here, despite the lopsided custody schedule, the filings state that neither parent will pay child support. So here's a divorce attorney weighing in. Gideon Alper says that this is extraordinary. In most divorces, child support reflects time spent with each parent. Here, even though Nicole has the children almost full time, the agreement waives support entirely. So both Kidman and Urban discloses monthly incomes of over $100,000. And according to this attorney, that changes the equation. So this attorney says that child support is designed to ensure children enjoy compatible lifestyles with each parent. But when both parties are multimillionaires, the court doesn't see the need to transfer money. Each parent can cover their children's expenses directly. Yeah, I feel like this drama is so far from over, you guys. But I think, as I said in the beginning, we have to be careful judging anyone here. We don't know the whole story yet of what really happened. Right now, Nicole is the one that feels betrayed and is getting the most support, I think, publicly here. But as of now, we really don't know what happened here. I'm sure we're going to find out a lot more during the coming days or weeks. I think this is going to be in the headlines for a while now, and I'll keep you updated. I just have to add that I met Nicole Kidman a few times, once with Harvey Weinstein. I don't know, they were at a party together. She was in one of his movies. But my point was that the times that I've met her and interviewed her, she's always been so warm and sweet. And she's known for being really nice to every journalist. She's always really polite. And she's always willing to share. She's always shared very personal things. She's always shared stories about Keith and her love for him. And no matter how uncomfortable questions were, she was always willing to give an answer. I've never really met Keith, so I don't know much about him. I've just seen him on red carpets with Nicole, and that's all I know about him. And I'm sure he's a nice person too, otherwise she wouldn't marry him. And I'm always sad to see when things don't work out for people. That being said, that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all my new subscribers. And if you've been around for a while, also check if you've been unsubscribed, because it has happened to a lot of people. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's a YouTube thing. And if you never want to miss an episode of Flawsome Talk, please hit the notification bell and like and hype and comment and share and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in my next one.
Yeah, we
Bye.
flawsome talk.